And I felt very embarrassed and scandalized that a young officer, an officer of the government, that this young officer signed that he was going to defend with his life. If you know the military people, anytime I see them, I say, for even having the courage to sign that you're willing to give your life at any time for your nation, I respect you. I always say it in the court martial anytime I am there. For you to see such officer wearing the uniform and then calling him a fool because he is obeying the orders of his superior. If you remove that element of obedience to superior orders, we are done with. Because it is that element that ensures discipline. It is that element that will make a younger soldier to carry gun and put his life at risk because his oga gave him orders. Immediately, the young officer said, sorry sir, I am here on instruction. I take orders. That would have ended it. Then the only thing you now have, the only grouse is with his oga that gave the order. Not him, because he's under a duty by the tradition of the military to obey the last orders of his oga, whether good or bad. So he has fulfilled the law himself. Then you, as a minister, reducing yourself to that level of altercation, of provocation, needlessly, portraying Nigerian leaders as ill-bred and ill-mannered, it is really very unfortunate. I took exception to that. It is not about the legality or illegality of whoever owns the place. No. It's about the fact that a young military officer was obeying orders legitimately given to him. And you want to introduce the element of disobedience in the army by trying to tell him he's a fool doing his job. It is like wike receiving instruction from Tinubu and he's carrying it out. And somebody met him and said, you're a fool for receiving orders from Tinubu and carrying it out. I mean, it's ridiculous. And as a lawyer to the army, I've always pleaded that please leave these people. I know what my clients suffer. I know how some of them, even after defending them in the court martial, had gone from there and died for this country. So I take it very personally. It was needless. You have no problem with the young officer. He has already told you. So what is the meaning of that assault and insult on him? Well, thank God, the young officer was very calm, cool, and compacted, showing actually that he is a well-trained officer. He maintained his ground, and he refused to be intimidated or manipulated. When the minister is looking for people to intimidate, he should look for them outside the people that are wearing that uniform. Because the spirit in that uniform means that you should hold your ground. And the young officer held his ground. And Nigerians are proud of such action. Going to 2027, we are going to hold our ground as the opposition party to remove this government that has brought this international shame on Nigerians, that has fractured ECOWAS, that has made the international community, led by Donald Trump, President of America, to be insulting us. We used to be respected. APC has frittered away our goodwill. So this is time now to restore the dignity of Nigeria. I, as a lawyer, the last time I granted an interview to people, I said PDP is dead. And people thought I was playing politics. No. When the national chairman and national secretary are two different worlds, serving different purposes, how do you think they can be reconciled? Now, PDP is going to go into war. One will defeat the other. And in politics, even if you defeat your opponent, you will still come out worse for it. Because you need everybody. Now, PDP is dead because how can they choose as secretary a man who comes from a faction that say they have endorsed another person to be president of Nigeria in 2027? How? So it is dead. It is going to be irreconcilable. So one faction is going to defeat the other. And even if it ends in winner-loser, it will still be a bad thing for the party. So they are hemorrhaging. And there is no rebuilding. Because a party is like a company in a stock exchange. When there is bad news against the party, people will not go to buy their shares. because nobody would put his destiny in a ship that is piloted by drunkards and madmen. What they displayed in Wadata Plaza is the exhibition of madness and drunkenness. People who drink akpatashi by 5 a.m. and they will come and use their car. Governors, ministers, they use their car and their thugs to be blocking their ways and fighting. I mean, such party, do you think any reasonable person will want to be part of it? Wike has told you, he has endorsed Tinubu 2027. So what were you expecting? Again, is it that you agree with him or the party will be destroyed? So the whole idea is to make PDP not viable for 2027 so that Tinubu will come back or they destroy PDP. I said it the other time when they were shouting zone to the south, zone to the south. I said, with respect to PDP, I said, PDP, you don't have sense. These people that are telling you zone to south is zone to Tinubu they mean. And they thought I was joking. But Wike had come out now to say, look, if you don't zone this thing to Tinubu, it is fight to finish. He said PDP should not even produce a candidate, presidential candidate. So what else is left? So it is shameful. What they are doing now, is what they would have done in 2023 in Igbo land. They say when an aberration or an abomination lasts more than 1 year, it will become a culture. So the abomination and aberration in PDP now has become their culture. So who would want to become a member of a party that has a culture of impunity, a culture of national chairman will sack national secretary will sack national chairman, governors will sack minister will sack governor? I mean, it is outrageous. It's so belittling. It is infradignitatem and cannot be accommodated by any responsible, reasonable person. So PDP is there.